Palma was serving a life sentence without parole when he was killed in his cell on Friday.
Anthony Palma creeped into Shannon's house, kidnapped Kirsten, murdered her.
Up hope that just because he's gone means that we are not going to get any more answers.
Anthony Palma was killed at the state pen in McAlester Friday.
Background of Oklahoma City and the 1995 explosion. In the heart of Oklahoma lies a city with a complex history and a resilient spirit, Oklahoma City. Established in 1889 amidst the frenzy of settlers staking their claims on unassigned lands, Oklahoma City quickly burgeoned into not just the capital of Oklahoma, but also its largest urban center. Over the years, it has evolved into a bustling metropolis, earning its stripes as one of the nation's key aviation hubs. However, amidst its growth and prosperity, the city was scarred by a devastating event in 1995. On a fateful day, Timothy McVeigh orchestrated a horrific act of domestic terrorism that shook the nation to its core. Detonating homemade ANFO explosives in front of the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building, McVeigh's heinous act claimed the lives of 168 innocent individuals and left hundreds more injured. The explosion remains one of the fatal incidents of domestic terrorism in U.S. history. The aftermath of the explosion cast a shadow over Oklahoma City, but it also showcased the city's resilience and unity in the face of adversity. The community rallied together, demonstrating unwavering support for the victims and their families. Amidst the rubble and devastation, a spirit of hope and determination emerged, symbolizing the city's commitment to rebuilding and moving forward. However, tragedy struck once again in 1997, this time in the suburban enclave of Midwest City just east of Oklahoma City.
Of abducting and killing 8-year-old Kirsten Hatfield 22 years ago is dead.
It's been nearly 3 days since convicted murderer Anthony Palma was killed in prison.
Anthony Palma creeped into Shannon's house, kidnapped Kirsten, murdered her.
It was here that the disappearance of 8-year-old Kirsten Hatfield sent shockwaves through the community. Kirsten vanished from her home on a seemingly ordinary night, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and shattered lives. The initial investigation into Kirsten's disappearance revealed disturbing evidence: a chain-link fence stained with blood, a windowsill smeared with crimson, and torn underwear belonging to the missing girl, all discovered in her backyard. Despite the efforts of law enforcement, including polygraph tests and interviews with family members, the case remained unsolved, leaving investigators grasping for leads and the community gripped by fear and uncertainty. Amidst the turmoil, one man stood out, a seemingly ordinary neighbor named Anthony Palma. Living just 2 doors down from Kirsten's home, Palma found himself thrust into the spotlight of suspicion. Yet he maintained his innocence, insisting that he had no involvement in Kirsten's disappearance. As the years passed, Kirsten's case remained cold, but the memory of her lingered in the hearts of those who knew her. It wasn't until nearly 2 decades later that a breakthrough finally emerged. In 2015, investigators revisited the case, armed with advanced forensic techniques and renewed determination. DNA evidence collected from the crime scene pointed to Palma as a suspect, linking him to the blood found in Kirsten's room and backyard. The revelation sent shockwaves through the community, reopening old wounds and reigniting hope for justice. In a stunning turn of events, Palma was convicted of Kirsten's abduction and passing away, bringing closure to a decades-long saga of grief and uncertainty. As Oklahoma City continues to evolve and rebuild, the memory of Kirsten Hatfield serves as a poignant reminder of the resilience and strength that define this vibrant city. Kirsten Hatfield's disappearance and initial investigation. In the quiet suburban neighborhood of Midwest City, Oklahoma, the tranquility of a seemingly ordinary night was shattered by the sudden disappearance of 8-year-old Kirsten Hatfield. Born on February 12, 1989, Kirsten lived with her mother Shannon and younger sister on Jet Drive, a peaceful street where families knew each other by name. The night of May 13, 1997, started like any other for the Hatfield family. Shannon tucked her daughters into bed around 11:30 p.m., expecting them to drift off into a peaceful slumber. However, when Shannon went to check on Kirsten the following morning, her worst nightmare unfolded before her eyes. Kirsten was gone. The discovery sent shockwaves through the community, triggering a frantic search for the missing girl. As investigators descended upon the Hatfield home, they discovered chilling evidence of foul play: a chain-link fence stained with blood, a windowsill marked by crimson smears, and torn underwear belonging to Kirsten discarded in the backyard. Despite their best efforts, investigators were met with a perplexing lack of leads. Shannon, grappling with her own struggles at the time, speculated that Kirsten may have been taken by someone involved in drugs, but it was merely a guess, offering little solace or direction to law enforcement.
I have been praying for Anthony Palma for a very long time now. I'm not celebrating his death. I do pray for his family. I'm heartbroken for them. It just came with a lot of emotions, just a ton of emotions, and a ton of questions.
The absence of tangible clues left investigators grasping for answers, leading them to explore every avenue in search of the truth. Family members were interviewed, polygraph tests were administered, but the elusive specter of Kirsten's abductor remained elusive. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, the once bustling neighborhood of Jet Drive fell silent, haunted by the lingering mystery of Kirsten's disappearance. Despite the passage of time, the memory of Kirsten endured, etched into the hearts of those who knew her, a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the specter of evil that lurked in the shadows. For Shannon and her family, the pain of Kirsten's absence was an ever-present burden, a wound that refused to heal in the absence of closure. The unanswered questions gnawed at their souls, leaving them to wonder what fate had befallen their beloved daughter and sister. Yet amidst the darkness, a glimmer of hope emerged, a renewed determination to uncover the truth and bring Kirsten home. As the investigation into Kirsten's disappearance continued, the resilient spirit of the Midwest city community rallied around the Hatfield family, offering support and solidarity in their darkest hour. Despite the passage of time, the memory of Kirsten Hatfield endures, a solemn reminder of the fleeting nature of life and the enduring power of hope. As the investigation into her disappearance persists, the quest for justice continues, fueled by the unwavering determination to bring closure to a family torn apart by tragedy. Anthony Palma, neighbor and suspect. In the sleepy neighborhood of Midwest City, Anthony Palma was known as the quintessential neighbor next door. Born in 1959, Anthony had called Jet Drive his home for many years, living a seemingly unassuming life while working as a landscaper for the state capitol. Describing himself as a regular neighborly guy, Anthony was the epitome of small-town charm, always ready to lend a hand or share a friendly chat with those around him. With a neighborhood dotted with retirees and families, Anthony thrived in his role as the go-to guy for fixing bikes, lending a helping hand with yard work, or simply sharing a slice of pizza with the local kids. His easygoing nature and mechanical prowess made him a beloved figure in the community, earning him the affectionate moniker of Uncle Tony among the neighborhood children. However, beneath the veneer of neighborly camaraderie lay a chilling secret that would shatter the tranquility of Jet Drive, a secret that would thrust Anthony into the spotlight as the prime suspect in the disappearance of 8-year-old Kirsten Hatfield. As investigators combed through the evidence surrounding Kirsten's vanishing, Anthony's name surfaced, casting a shadow of suspicion over the once beloved neighbor.
Anthony Palma was killed at the state pen in McAlester Friday.
I'm not celebrating Anthony Palma's murder.
Right.
I'm not celebrating that.
I've always been, I don't know about friendly, but neighborly.
Despite his claims of innocence, Anthony found himself ensnared in a web of circumstantial evidence, his alibi unraveling under the relentless scrutiny of law enforcement. Yet, as the investigation delved deeper into Anthony's past, a disturbing pattern began to emerge, a pattern of predatory behavior that belied his affable facade. Accusations of attack and physical misconduct cast a dark cloud over Anthony's character, painting a portrait of a man with a sinister streak lurking beneath his friendly demeanor. Despite Anthony's vehement denials and attempts to deflect blame onto others, the evidence against him continued to mount, culminating in a shocking revelation: a DNA match linking Anthony to blood found at the scene of Kirsten's disappearance. In the eyes of the law, Anthony Palma transitioned from the friendly neighbor to the prime suspect, a transformation that shattered the illusions of safety and trust that had once defined the close-knit community of Jet Drive. As the truth unraveled, the facade of normalcy crumbled, leaving behind a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk behind even the most unassuming of facades. DNA evidence and Palma's conviction. The turning point in the case against Anthony Palma came with the emergence of DNA evidence, a scientific revelation that would unravel his carefully constructed facade and seal his fate. Amidst the chaos of Kirsten Hatfield's disappearance, investigators meticulously collected evidence from the scene, including blood samples found on the windowsill of Kirsten's room and on a pair of torn underwear discovered in the backyard. Despite initial setbacks in generating leads from the DNA samples, advancements in forensic technology breathed new life into the investigation years later. In a stunning revelation, the Oregon State Bureau of Investigation confirmed that Anthony Palma's DNA was a match to the genetic material recovered from the crime scene, a match with a statistical likelihood so infinitesimal it defied comprehension. With a staggering probability of 293 sextillion to 1, the DNA evidence left no room for doubt, providing a damning link between Anthony Palma and Kirsten Hatfield's disappearance. As the trial unfolded, the weight of DNA evidence cast a long shadow over Anthony's claims of innocence, painting a compelling portrait of guilt that proved impossible to refute. Despite his steadfast denials and attempts to deflect blame onto others, Anthony's facade crumbled under the weight of scientific scrutiny, leaving behind a stark reality of his culpability in Kirsten's fate.
Palma was serving a life sentence without parole when he was killed in his cell on Friday.
Of hope that just because he's gone means that we are not going to get any more answers.
In the eyes of the jury, the DNA evidence served as irrefutable proof of Anthony Palma's guilt, a conviction that echoed the sentiments of a community haunted by the specter of a heinous crime. With the gavel's final descent, Anthony Palma's fate was sealed, a life sentence without the possibility of parole, marking the end of a tumultuous chapter in the pursuit of justice. Yet amidst the closure brought by Palma's conviction, questions lingered, questions of motive, of remorse, and of the lingering scars left behind by a tragedy that defied understanding. As Kirsten's family grappled with the aftermath of their loss, the specter of Anthony Palma served as a haunting reminder of the fragility of innocence and the enduring pursuit of truth in the face of darkness. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.